The thing called the Beanie Baby craze.
Okay, maybe I missed this whole Beanie Baby craze because I grew up in the Philippines. Guys, I don't know a lot of like the references of like.
Okay, so this was like Bitcoin for girls. And what it was
And mommies.
Wow,
McDonald's.
I'm learning so much.
That was a huge part of my life.
And it must have been, what, 96 to 98?
Yeah, I think so.
Were
And then,
they
of course,
all bears or did they come in different
no,
shapes?
oh my God,
You're not
no.
understanding. Oh,
No,
God.
there were
We're doing a
worms.
bad job explaining. Honey,
crabs.
you name it, they beamed it. Make sure the wig looks okay.
I am so happy to see my favorite person on the couch here in the Trash Tuesday studio. Welcome, Clayton Hawkins. He is a celebrity hairstylist. You're my gay hairstylist friend.
Yeah,
my
I
first.
am. I'm hitting a lot of, checking a lot of boxes.
And a lot of people don't know this, but you took our OG bloodbath pictures for us for this podcast.
I did, just on an iPhone, which kind of felt like funny and wrong to do. But yes, I did take the OG bloodbath pictures.
Yeah, at the Pasadena courthouse.
Yeah, which
Was
I
it?
might get married there. I'm thinking
It's
about it.
beautiful there.
It was really nice.
This name is so much better than bloodbath.
No one
didn't
likes
like
this name.
Bloodbath?
No, low vibrational, dark energy, horrible.
But is Trash Tuesday is not high vibes.
Trash is fun. One man's trash is another person's treasure. A
That is
bloodbath,
true.
there's nothing good about a bloodbath.
I love that.
Thank you. You're the first person to say that.
I mean, I don't love Trash Tuesday. It's not like the best name ever, but it's certainly better than it couldn't get worse.
we can't part with it anymore. I think that's the consensus, right? We're sticking
Yeah, we
with
were
it.
thinking if we would change it again, but it seems like we're just gonna stay.
Yeah, it would be depressing to change it like a third time, right?
Oh my God, Clay. So Clay is also one of my besties. How do you feel now that I'm a mom? Do you see a difference?
Yeah, you actually. Okay, I'm gonna be really brutally honest because I feel like that's what this, vibe is about.
Mhm.
I thought that Esther was going to, kind of like in Brooke Shields' book when she had the baby, want to throw the baby against the wall. That was my biggest concern, that it was going to be one of those like Matt Lauer situations where he's saying, like, Tom Cruise is saying to Matt Lauer, Esther shouldn't be on psychiatry, on the meds. I thought it was going to be bad. Okay. I thought that it was going to be like postpartum times 100. And here's the thing. She is doing so well. She's such a good mom. I've actually never seen her happier.
I know, right? It's so weird. It's weird for me too. Trust me. Like I thought for sure she'd leave that baby at my doorstep.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
at best, that was best case scenario. I was praying that that's like the outcome that would happen. She's such a good mom. I went and visited the baby.
I
The baby
know.
is gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
You
Nobody
guys.
saw
Is
that
it weird
coming.
to say?
The baby is stunning.
Is it weird to have a hot baby? But she's gorgeous.
No, I agree with you. I did not see it coming. I did not.
What, the hot baby or the fact that you're like
All of it.
such a great mom?
All of it. Thank you for saying that. I wouldn't say I'm a great mom. I'm happy to be a mom. I'm trying my best. We're all trying our best.
You know where the baby is right now, right?
I do. Yeah, she has one of those air tags,
Okay,
so
good,
I can
good,
always check it.
Smart.
No, but thank you for saying those horrible and nice things. I appreciate you both.
No, I'm so happy, and I feel like she even I'll be like, wait, have I seen Esther smile before? Like, she just seems like, I don't know. I'm genuinely so happy for you. Everyone that asks, like, how's Esther doing? How is she? People ask about you. I'm always like, she's the best mom ever. She's so happy. It's like the dream scenario.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
Thank God.
Oh, what? Yeah, the biggest surprise of the year is that, I think for me, how much you're loving it.
Same, actually. Same. It's a big surprise for me too. Clay, how's married life?
Married life? I'm going on a year. It's been a year
Hey,
almost.
Clay, you got married.
I got married last year.
Congrats.
Yeah. I had a big wedding. Esther was there.
I actually conceived my baby like right after your wedding. I think.
I know. Well, you also did show your vagina on the dance floor.
I didn't mean to. I
She-
didn't mean that.
Yeah. Why did the vagina show up so much on the dance floor?
Did it?
You needed like a snatch guard. It was bad. But yeah, I actually had a big fun wedding. I mean, if I do say so
It
myself,
was incredible.
I didn't anticipate I didn't anticipate how great it was going to be because the whole time I was just like, I don't want people to be bored. I
Right.
don't want people to be bored. So I basically made like a bar mitzvah. There was like caricature artists and drag queens and mariachi.
I feel like that's the way to do it because
Yeah.
I think that the drudgery for me, okay, like the reason why like I think weddings in general have never been that appealing is because it seems like such a pressure cooker to get everything together. And when really it's like people should just be relaxed. Like there should be no feeling of transactional anything. It should just be like, let's go have a good time.
100%. And also, like, we're two guys. I mean, spoiler alert, I'm gay. But, like, it's like we're two guys. So it's not like there's any, like, rules. You know, it's like a dog wedding. It's like you can do whatever you want. And I don't know. I paid for it. You know, me and my husband paid for it. It wasn't like our parents were in charge. So it was like we could do whatever we wanted. I also, not to get, like, sappy, but, like, because I've been with my husband for, like, 11 years. I didn't think that it would feel as like romantic and beautiful. And I was like, oh my God, like I like fell in love with him like all over again that night.
But probably because you were in the mindset of let's just have a great time. So like again, there's no pressure there. You're just like because I think that people forget about the spouse they're about to marry sometimes when there's too much wedding planning involved, which is why like eloping is like such a dream for me too.
I know, but you don't get as much attention.
I know that is true, but
or spend so much money. You know, I love as you'll find out. I love to spend. You know.
Wait, so tell me how Esther's vagina made multiple
No,
appearances.
she just was like crawling on her hands and knees, dancing a lot, and like just someone was like, I just saw that girl's vagina, like. But that's okay. It actually was such a safe space.
It was such a safe space. I feel like I hadn't let go, like let loose like that in years.
Yeah.
I mean, you got pregnant right after.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, it's.
And you don't drink, which is the craziest part of it.
No, I don't.
Yeah, she doesn't drink, so that does make it worse. As it was.
Now, when you came over to meet Ace, you got her a lot of gifts, and like Dave is still upset about it.
Yeah, you really are bad at receiving things. It turns out.
But you got her a Tickle Me Elmo,
An OG Tickle Me Elmo from 1996.
Oh wait, that's super special.
So I'm addicted to eBay, and I make a lot of like TikTok videos where I try out old hair products, old like curling irons, roller sets, that I buy off eBay.
Yeah.
But then I also just buy a lot of like vintage stuff. I'm just obsessed with things that have like history and are old and weird. So I don't have really anything new.
That's how you categorize Jar Jar Binks merchandise?
I love Jar Jar Binks. I feel like I'm the Jar Jar Binks of like the beauty industry. Like so much hype, so much promise. And then like everyone's horrified when I'm actually in the room.
Wait, didn't Caroline didn't she just
had
buy a Jar Jar Binks shirt?
t-shirt?
Yeah. So and she actually sent me. She'll send me some cool like Phantom Menace stuff. I love like missed opportunities. Like I'm obsessed with like the Star Wars, especially Phantom Menace, because there was so much hope, there was so much promise. It was going to be this incredible thing, and it missed the mark. And for me, that's just like so. I can't explain why that just tickles me in such a fun way.
That is such a good
like he was on the
category.
cover of Rolling Stone.
Jar Jar?
Yes, before the movie came out, they're like, this is going to be the next E.T. And it just didn't work.
I forgot that there was so much hype.
See?
Oh my God.
I forgot he was hyped, but you're right. Because I'm like, why is that name Jar Jar Binks? Why is that so embedded in my brain?
He was hyped, dear. And I just love
You like catastrophic failures.
I guess, but I'm just like now I'm like rooting for Jar Jar. So do I buy Jar Jar things? Yeah, I buy the occasional Jar Jar thing off eBay. Is my husband horrified by the things that I buy? Yeah.
Do you happen to have anything with you? Any fun eBay purchases?
I brought a whole bag of recent eBay purchases
Thank
that
God.
we could go through.
Let's please.
Can we?
Yeah. Let me grab it.
I totally forgot.
This is like a whole on like, and by the way, Esther, these aren't gifts. These are mine. Sorry, Khalyla, this
oh
is
my
not
God, I'm seeing things and I'm already freaking out.
Okay, so let's start with just like some simple stuff. Like I said,
I already see something that I'm feeling.
Well,
I'm getting
here's a bump
chicken
it.
skin. Chicken
Which-
skin, goosebumps.
I was like, what's chicken skin? What's happening? Okay, goosebumps. Fine. I'm from a goosebumps house. Okay, a bump it. You guys, I tried to make the bump it come back. I did like an interview with Allure 2 years ago where I was like, this is going to be the year of the bump it. No one else agreed. every summer. This is gonna be the summer of the bump it. So here's a bump it.
Do you feel as though the bump it sort of was too closely tied to like the Jersey Shore?
Yeah, but that's amazing. Let's go back there. Like, let's bring that back.
Okay, so I have a friend who I think has single-handedly kept the bump it alive, and she is, I'm pretty sure she's like a NICU nurse, like very important person.
Yeah. Out of the face. That's good.
Right, and it's beautiful on her. So I think you're right. She looks so good with it.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, there's a time and a place.
It looks. Did you use this on me for my premiere?
No, that was like a full-on. We used like hair. We used like part of the couch. Like we used like hair padding. Well, first of all, Esther had her movie premiere and she was like, "I'm not gonna have hair or makeup."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "That's unacceptable." Like I think I offered to pay you to come like do that. I was like, "I'll pay for like makeup anyway." So we did full on glam, but that was just like a wig and like stuffing on top of your head.
Okay, Thanksgiving stuffing.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's true. You did make me do glam, and I'm glad that you did that.
You
Thank
looked gorgeous. She looked gorgeous.
She did. It was like
So
Lana coated. Okay, this is for like the little. It's a portable blow dryer for the car. This is from the 70s that you plug into like the cigarette
That
lighter.
can't be safe.
I've tried it while I'm driving. It smells like a house on fire. It's certainly not right. But you know, I just like things like this. The Mars attacks, like Alien.
Very cute.
This is
Are
good.
you sure that one's not a gift?
This one isn't a gift, it turns out.
Can
I
I-
just checked.
Oh, that's a really good one. Am I allowed to touch?
You can touch, you guys, and like you can break.
Wait, I want
to
to know more about why Mars attacks because I understand, but I can't articulate it myself.
You know, again, the movie didn't quite land. The movie didn't quite land, and that's why I'm rooting for it. But that image is just so iconic of the
Oh, Esther.
big hair. I should recreate it for a TikTok thing.
Yes, it's so scary but stupid at the same time.
That is just, to me, that's like my blood type is that image. I'm just addicted to like that aesthetic. Okay, let's keep going. This is obviously a classic, just a Britney Spears action figure.
Oh, so cute.
So cute, a simpler time.
Us-
Everyone was
oh.
happier.
Can I get
I
a
love-
price point on the Mars Attacks doll?
That one wasn't too bad. I think it was like under $100.
Okay.
This is really melting my heart.
Okay, Farrah Fawcett shampoo.
Wow.
I just made a video before I came here with that, which
Oh
is
my God, can I
actually
take a picture of that?
With vitamins and minerals.
vitamins and minerals.
It was $2.69.
I definitely paid $150 for it on eBay. And, you know, surprisingly, when I normally use the old hair products, they smell like the cat's ass. This was actually not bad. This has smelled pretty good if you want to.
One of the
take a whiff.
ingredients is hydrolyzed animal protein.
Oh,
Hmm.
people now use the hydrolyzed pea protein, but animal protein is fine.
And where did they get from the bones? Is that bones?
I don't know, but
I actually don't think my immune system can handle smelling that.
I
No,
think I
smell.
can.
It actually, it's like for 40 years old or whatever. It smells like Mr. Bubbles.
oh, that smells so nostalgic. You would
Uh-huh.
Okay,
love
give
it.
it to me.
It smells like Mr. Do you remember Mr. Do you know Mr. Bubbles?
Yeah, can I taste it?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, taste it, taste it.
I want I need some protein.
Yeah. Animal protein for the baby.
That is so strong. That is
Really?
you guys. I don't feel good after
Okay, well, you haven't. Okay, I'm
smells
used to
good.
smelling like blood curdling, bone chilling things when I'm doing these. So this was like a relief.
God, I love that they put her face right in the front.
I
It's so
know.
simple.
And it's made by Fabergé. I'm like, is that the,
The
egg
egg?
company? That's totally
and this
unclear.
was 100.
I think it was like 150.
Great.
And I had
buy.
to like set an alarm in the middle of the night because people are bidding on this.
Are you putting it somewhere nice in your home? Are
Well,
you
I have a
showcasing it?
whole like Pee Wee's Playhouse like glam room that I film everything in, but I have like thousands of wigs and extensions and all of my trinkets. I'm turning into like an 80-year-old weird gay Palm Springs man, like with collections and
Oh, that's so cool. I want to be that so bad.
I know and you have it in you.
Thank you.
The first time that I ever worked with Esther, well, first of all, so I'm a hairstylist, right? And I got like on my call sheet, okay, you're gonna work with this girl Esther, and I said Esther Pavitsky. With a name like that, she has to be like a Russian supermodel. She's gonna be 18. I'm like, just like the way that like the law of attraction works. I'm like, name that whatever. She's got to be gorgeous. And then I found out it's like Esther, who's a comedian, and we hit it off like immediately. And she was like, wait, do I not hate gay people? Like it was, I mean, she didn't say that, but that was sort of the vibe. And I feel like you just needed.
No, you know what it was is because I was so in the comedy space and I was like, the person doing my hair is funnier than anyone I've ever met in all of comedy. I'm like, what's going on here?
Well, I mean, have you ever really laughed at a comedian? It's like if you need to do that for a job, it's like
I sort of like, I feel that a lot with most people that I meet. I'm like, oh, they're like inherently funnier than any of like the stand-ups that I'm like always around.
well, I'm sure if I was like, oh, let me try to be a stand-up comedian, it would literally be like Flop City, like horrible.
I don't
I
think
doubt
so.
it,
I
but-
doubt
I
that.
know. I actually wanted people in the comments to say that, but yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but we hit it off right away, and Esther's not only her hair, but her life needed some organizing. So I sort of felt like the need to like almost like a conservatorship for Esther to take some things over.
It's true. Well, you did when you found out I was driving myself to that premiere.
She was going to what were you going to the premiere of like a Disney movie, right?
Yeah.
What was the movie?
I don't remember.
Okay, she was going to like a big
Is this
premiere.
when you first met?
Yeah. The
So
first
she was
time.
on the Freeform show, and so the way it works
Right.
with me
We
is
don't
like,
like to say the F word around here.
got it. Okay, what about Fox Family? Okay, the original. Okay, pre ABC Family. But anyway, so yeah, she was going to this big premiere, and I was like, okay, you're all ready to go, and describe what the car was at the time, also.
A 2001 Toyota Camry with a lot of dents.
And she was going to drive that to like the Pantages and walk into the premiere, and I was like, I'll pay for the Uber. Like, you can't do this. Like, that's not how this works. And I actually work with like a lot of, well, she wasn't young, but like people that are like new to the industry.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes I'm like a fame Sherpa for these
Yeah, you
girls.
should,
Sherpa. Yeah, that's a nice
Where
way
I'm
to
like,
put it.
even if you're just paying for like, the cheapest Uber, like you can't drive yourself to these events.
But I feel like that is very stand-up comedian coded, especially Bobby coded, like
Mhm.
rolling up with a backseat full of sugar-free Red Bulls, like that kind of like vibe, right?
And unfortunately, and maybe it's sexist, it's one thing for a man to do it, but for a beautiful young woman to do that, like, I don't want to see her roll up in the car and then walk down the stairs from the parking. Like, it's embarrassing to do it in a dress. I think that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
embarrassing to have full hair and makeup and then get out of the car and do all that. Like, you need at least
Validate your parking. It's
yeah.
it's not cute.
to go up to like the head of Disney and be like, where do I validate this is tough. Should we go through? Okay,
Yeah,
what
let's
else?
see.
What else? So this one is Dippity Do. This is like from 1955.
What?
I
Hair
did this-
gel?
So it's a setting gel lotion. I did this on TikTok and Instagram, and it has like inexplicably like 30 million views. Because it works.
Let me see.
Okay, it works really well. So smell that.
Dude, this is so cool.
What a cute name.
So
too.
Dippity Do like reached out to and like sent me their new stuff.
They
and
still
wants to collab-
exist?
They still exist. Yep. But smell it. This one's gonna take you back. Okay.
I'm really scared.
This is tough.
Dude, I can't believe you made me smell
I
that.
know.
I can't believe it. My eyes are burning.
Uh-huh.
I'm not joking. What is
Oh, I like that.
you guys?
we're
like
different.
that.
We're different.
I literally have a sore throat.
Yeah. No, it actually will cause and then cure the sore throat. So that's what's special about this. But yeah, it actually worked incredible. I did like a roller set with it, and it just worked so
How
well.
does it hold though after all of these years of just sitting on a?
Unclear. Maybe it's the glass, the fact that it's
Oh,
actually
that is true.
glass.
So it's not interacting with the chemicals in there.
I don't know, but I like to do these experiments. Like I did a lot of I almost started a lot of fires because I guess in the late 80s, early 90s, they had like portable curling irons that you put like almost gasoline into. And
This is before batteries were invented.
I don't, yeah, but even now you can't do
Like a
like a
musket?
curling iron with a battery. I don't know what this was.
See, you're coughing from
Yeah,
No,
smelling.
she
I was
sounds
coughing before
very-
that.
Oh, she's very sick. Got it. Uh-oh.
It might have been from the Farrah Fawcett.
I don't feel good.
No. You actually feel great. You're fine.
Okay.
What else? Oh, this is another Farrah product, which is basically like her blow dryer.
I will say this: I love the color scheme. I
Yeah.
love
Oh,
See,
the
look at the
soft
screen.
yellow.
Look at the screen. Come on. See, like I live for this stuff. You guys, this wasn't that long ago. Think about how weird humans have gotten now. Like that could have been you 60 years ago.
Thank you.
Now with
Wow.
sunscreen. Okay, even more like cancer-causing like chemicals. I love that.
Wait, so this Farrah Fawcett is a speed styler.
Yeah. So it's like
Portable?
I don't know. Let's take it out of the box.
Oh my
Wow.
Doesn't this remind you of like a weird dentist office in like the early 90s?
Yeah, it's something I don't want to touch it.
Does it make you guys, this stuff makes me feel things. I can't explain it.
The color scheme of this
Thank
makes me
you.
feel things. This yellow
Mhm.
makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Correct. And a lot of this stuff that I'm nostalgic for, I wasn't alive that I know of, like during that time, but I just feel so drawn to it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I have that too. I think it's just like that we're sad people.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm searching for something.
Can I take a picture of that one
Yeah.
too? I'm selling all your stuff
Of
back on
course.
eBay.
Yeah, please.
What
This
else?
is so good.
Okay, what else? Oh, well, obviously, Princess Diana.
I have
beanie.
this.
Anyone does.
How do you not have it in a container?
Well, I have the tag in the container. But no,
Wait,
she's
can
free
you-
range, free roaming.
Wait, I don't know anything about this.
Well, there was a thing called the Beanie Baby craze.
Okay, maybe I missed this whole Beanie Baby craze because I grew up in the Philippines. Guys, I don't know a lot of like the references of like
Okay, so this was like Bitcoin for girls. And what it was
and
was
mommies and daddies.
inexplicably these little there's actually documentaries and books about this. I
Okay.
read a
And
book
movies.
called The Great Beanie Bubble. But anyway, these somehow became there was the promise that these would be worth their weight in gold. And it's unclear who started this or perpetuated it, but there was this
Ty
scarcity.
Haney.
Right. There was a scarcity mentality
Uh-huh.
where they were like, you need to get these. They're rare and they're going to be worth millions
Millions.
one
And
day.
is there anything special about the Beanie Baby?
No, of course not.
This is
But-
about as special as you're looking at.
Post after she died.
So this was in honor of her life.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a special Beanie Baby.
And the thing is I don't know what it has to do with her. I think they just had this in the works and said,
And-
throw Diana on it.
and purple because royalty.
I think that was just luck of the draw.
Wait, now I'm questioning. Like, did her estate
You don't think that they had anything to do with her death?
this
do you?
Beanie Baby?
Is that what you're saying?
Look, I watched
Where
all
were
of
they
the,
that Paris night?
I watched all of The Crown and I have some thoughts, but
But the thing is that it was all about scarcity. Like, you never know which one is going to be taken off shelves forever, and then if you have that one, you're like set for life
And
financially.
moms would go crazy. Like people would be like fighting at stores and they'd be like hoarding them, or like I remember we had a neighbor and she would like every Friday, she knew they would get a shipment Saturday and she would call every like Hallmark store or toy store and be like, what's coming in? What time is it coming in? Like people were
I miss this
Addicted.
fandom.
Yeah.
And nobody liked the actual thing. Nobody was playing with these being like, these are great. It was all about capitalism, which I love.
Yeah, and I wasn't even allowed to play with mine. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Do
the
you still have
tags-
yours, sister?
My mom got rid of quite a few of them, but I still have a pretty generous collection. But I don't have everything.
Are you
no.
sad that they aren't the equivalent of like the Pokemon cards that really are like super valuable?
But are they really valuable?
They are.
They-
I'm waiting for that bubble to burst. And I think you should do it.
No, I think I don't want it to burst because one of my really good friends, like that's her nest egg.
Got it.
She has like complete everything of all of
That's
the
a dangerous.
I never clicked with the card because I'm like, what are we doing? It's paper. I
Yeah.
mean, that doesn't make me feel anything. It's a photo on a piece of paper. That made me feel nothing.
Yeah.
But these Beanie Babies, I'm sorry to say, like they're not that impressive, right?
I mean, you didn't live through it, so of course that's gonna.
Yeah,
You're just.
but it gives you a rush in your body
you
when
had
you
to
see
be
them.
there.
You had to be there, and also it was just to see neighborhood moms become like kingpins before your very own eyes. It was a sight to behold.
Clay, did you get involved in the Happy Meal Beanie Babies?
Oh, but yes, I think they were called teeny beanies.
Yeah, teeny beanies.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Wow,
McDonald's.
I'm learning so much.
That was a huge part of my life.
And it must have been what, 96 to 98?
Yeah, I think so.
Were
and then
they
of course,
all bears, or did they come in
Oh,
different
no,
shapes?
my God,
you're not
no.
understanding. Oh
No,
God,
there were
we're doing a
worms.
bad job explaining. Honey,
crabs.
you name it, they beamed it.
And And shortly after
Okay,
this,
so now this sounds fun to me because if
she thought it was just bears.
yeah, I just thought it was just bears.
Right.
no, there's the flamingo, the duck,
I
the
know the duck is
platypus.
Quackers. The duck's name is Quackers, which I do
It was
know.
the tag, it was the name, it was the description.
There's also a poem, and is it a poem?
There was always a poem on it.
yeah.
Okay, so now it seems fun to me. I
Yeah.
get it now.
And well, by the way, now they have a sequel line called Beanie Boos, which are these same thing, but with like wild eyes.
Uh-huh.
And now you will see them everywhere you go. They're at every airport, every CVS,
Yeah.
they're everywhere.
but they have no value.
well,
People learn their lesson, I think.
well, I think they do have value because they've been on the shelves for like
But
20
no,
years.
the moms aren't going to CVS in droves.
Esther, just look at that. Wait,
Oh
go
my
back to the other one.
God, That was so
Oh.
good. I have, by the way, I have all my teeny Beanie Babies
Even
in
the
their original
lobster?
packaging. Of course, I have the lobster.
The lobster's good.
I have all of those.
But look at the penguin. The penguin, the way it's sitting. Like, is that me? Like, I don't know. It's just like the beak. I like the penguin.
I'm feeling things.
Thank you.
I'm feeling things.
Thank you. And
I'm
that's
not-
ultimately why I'm here, is to finally make you guys feel something. You know?
And
Okay.
shortly after this was the Furby craze. Do you have a Furby
Yes,
in your
like
bag?
I was here by the time the Furby
But
craze
Furbies
happened.
were actually fun.
But they didn't ever really work.
Mine worked.
Wait, is that true? Because I feel like mine never did what it was advertised to do.
Oh, well, no, listen, they weren't trained. They did whatever they wanted. Okay, your job was to like help like rear them.
What did you ever get a Furby to do?
Wake me up in the middle of the night, just be like, ah, like, you know, that was a big part of the appeal.
Okay.
Also, they were completely ripped off from the guy from Gremlins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
identical.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that worked out. Let's see what else is in
Okay.
here. Let's see what else is in here. Okay. This is just a commemorative, I'm assuming from a movie theater, Britney Spears Pepsi cup.
Holy fuck. And oh my God, it has the little game.
PlayPepsiStuff.com. Yeah. Yeah, you can peel. Actually peel.
No.
No,
No,
peel.
I'm not
No,
going to
don't
peel.
Peel
Don't
or I'm gonna
peel.
kill myself
you-
on camera.
You peel. What if you win something?
Do you think it's still valid?
It has to be. What if you? Yeah.
Do you think PepsiStuff.com still exists?
Oh my God, this cup is amazing. This is no. This is not from a movie. This is from the 2001
Concert.
World Tour.
Oh, so it's a concert
That you-
drink. Even better.
Yeah, but I get why we didn't know that because it's not like Dream Within a Dream branded.
Yeah, it's Pepsi branded.
Yeah.
This is like her Pepsi look.
Mhm.
So that's why. So, you know, things. Okay, what else? Okay, obviously, these are a cliche, but we have to have them. The Spice Girl lollipop. Uh-huh. Now, for some reason, don't take this the wrong way, but Scary just didn't come. When I ordered them all, they did not include Scary.
These feel
I have baby.
not good.
Will you eat one?
They feel so
Oh, so
melted.
Chupa
Yeah, they
Chups.
feel.
soft
Wait, this is like taffy.
because it has gum in the middle.
So the gum's all that's left?
I ate so many of these when I was whatever age.
I know,
Wait,
aren't
this specific the Spice Girls one?
Yeah, the Spice Girls Fantasy Ball lollipops. They sold them at
Oh,
limited
were you
too.
not here when this happened either?
No, so this is really
This
like,
was
a
the
special moment for
candy.
me. I didn't know that these even existed, but I love the Spice Girls. Jerry was my girl.
Oh, Jerry was
too.
my girl.
What?
Ginger Club!
Oh my God, Ginger was everything.
I've never met other gingers before.
Well, and then my brother gave me the Jerry Halliwell Playboy. He was like, "You love Ginger so much, you're gonna like this," and I was like, "I don't know that I do." Like,
I still
it's all
follow her
right.
life and who she's married to.
And how is she
all
doing?
Well, she's
doing well.
Yeah, she married a principal of like an F1 team. So she
What,
is
what is that?
Formula One racing.
Okay.
A rich
So
guy.
she is like a very
I was thinking
rich
she was
guy.
like talking about like a middle school, like the principal of like F1
Yeah, and
elementary.
so
Okay.
he was most recently in the last couple months caught with someone else. So there's a little bit of scandal there, but we think they're staying together and working it out because
Good,
they're a
good.
very, very like beautiful, like wealthy couple.
They can get past that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they can. I have sort of a
The humiliation's tough though.
I have a toxic question. Who do we think is the least successful present day Spice Girl, or do we not even want to go there?
Well, let's go there because I think a lot of them have had a lot of TV success.
Right.
So like Baby Spice and Scary Spice have hosted, been judges on.
Same with Mel C because she was on Asia's Got Talent as like the main judge there too.
I think Sporty is the least popular.
I would say,
But she's had the biggest solo success.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
So and she's respected as the best vocalist in the group.
correct.
So I actually think that they
Baby.
I think they all have done
pretty well.
pretty well for themselves. And when you hit that sort of stratospheric,
Mhm.
is that a word?
Sure.
When you hit that level of success, even if it's just for a moment of time, 1 to 2 years, you can milk that until the cows come home,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it's beautiful to see. And Scary Spice, I think she had Eddie Murphy's baby. Like
She
that's
did.
huge.
Yeah, that's like, of course, that's
yeah,
a huge
that's where you want to
accomplishment.
land.
All right, what else? This one, if you don't watch Housewives, this might be niche, but Vicky Gunvalson, who is
I love
a
Vicky.
housewife of OC. Now, if she saw me, she probably would call me the F slur to my face. I love her with all my heart nonetheless. But she did have a perfume called V by Vicky.
That's so
I
funny.
have one that's opened, and I have to say, it smells worse than any of these like 80-year-old hair products. Okay, Vicky Gunvalson, a new fragrance.
I gotta say this, OC Housewives, one of my faves to
Me
this
too.
day.
Oh, to this day, and I can't wait for the new
Tamara,
season.
everyone's just iconic
Now,
on
in
there.
case you don't know, now Vicky is, and I say this with peace and love, and she's successful at it. She's simply a life insurance salesman.
She
So
is.
for her to
Yeah.
also have a perfume, it is a little bit wild. But again, these are the kind of things that bring me joy. These are the kind of things that I'm like, yes, I need that.
It makes you feel good.
It makes me feel good.
Did you ever have the Fame perfume by Lady Gaga?
Oh my God, the one that turned black or
Yeah.
was black?
Yeah.
No, but I've looked at it on eBay. It's in my recent searches.
Oh, I might be able to hook you up with a bottle if I can find it.
And is it still black or did
It
the
is
color-
still black.
It is.
Yeah.
Now, I remember at the time, they really went out of their way to explain it's not going to stain your clothes. It's not going to stain your clothes. And when you're pitching something and you're already having to like promise and apologize for a future event, that's always tough.
It was a really strange way to come out of the gate with a fragrance.
But she was cool. I remember they
Yeah.
were like, what does it smell like? And she was like, it smells like a prostitute.
Oh yeah.
And that was like at the time. Now it's like everybody thinks they're like an edgelord. But at the time, that was like,
Yeah.
that was like badass.
I feel
that
like
she said
all of
that.
the TikTok viral scents are all geared towards smelling like a stripper, right?
Yeah.
And going back to that simple, like what we had when we had the Victoria's Secret
course.
strawberries and champagne.
Oh.
Remember
Oh.
that?
And the
Yeah.
whole just like the mall, what's the mall? Bath and Body
Bath
and
Works.
Body, yeah.
Which like I'm pretty sure those chemicals have to be banned.
100%.
Then they're still selling them though.
Because you could, oh my God, because you walked into like a 7th grade classroom in the early 2000s,
Plumeria.
you needed a
Yeah.
mask.
cucumber
but
melon.
this
Oh
is
no,
why-
the cucumber was disgusting. I
I
couldn't
love
with the
that one.
cucumber.
This is why our
melon. It smelled
entire
like a lizard.
generation. Our entire generation has lupus because of this, because of all of the Calgon, all of the, all of those scents,
Do you
right?
guys remember, like, did you ever go through that discovery phase where you found out that Walgreens sold like knockoffs of the expensive designer perfumes?
Of course.
That was, I felt like that's what it must feel like when you become a billionaire. Like
Yeah.
when I found those, it was so, like for 99 cents, I could get
99 cents, because I would get them at the 99-cent store. And like when I'm talking on like 7 years old, and you have like literally $3
Yes.
and a booger to your name. Like I would go into the 99-cent store and I would buy these knockoff Michael Jordan colognes. And when I tell you the amount of liquid, it was like an Evian bottle. Like it was so much liquid. The spritz would always get stuck, and it just smelled like gasoline. And I felt right as rain, and I felt cool as fuck.
Oh, simpler times.
I know. And that's what
Yeah.
we're trying to get back to. But
We're
it's like,
there.
the
We're getting
hole
there.
never gets filled. You have to constantly,
Uh-huh.
it's like one of those, it's like the Titanic. They're constantly having to like fire up. How did the Titanic move?
There was
How
coal.
I think
So
coal, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's constantly needs to
remember-
be kindled.
I remember that scene where they still had to like manually kind
Oh,
of
those
keep
guys
the,
were hot.
They were
Yeah.
so hot. They were the hottest guys on
They
the
were
boat.
hot.
Yeah.
All right, what else?
Can I ask a question about celebrity perfume? Who would you say has the best, most successful celebrity perfume that's ever been
Curious by Britney Spears.
Ugh.
And it's known as like the best cheap, or not cheap, but best like, what's the word for perfume? Like affordable perfume.
Mm.
It is
Yeah.
known by, because for some reason I fell into like TikTok wormhole of this guy that like reviews perfumes.
For some reason, you fell into that.
Well, the algorithm knew what I needed at that time. And at that time, that day in particular, that's what I needed to receive. So yeah, I think fantasy, curious. Maybe it's fantasy that's the one. What's the OG?
I think curious.
What about the perfume commercial, which maybe we do need to pull up, where she's with the fortune teller?
Oh my God.
Can we just pull up the
I've never
Britney
seen
Spears
it.
fortune teller commercial? Because the way she reacts to this fortune teller is just odd.
This was sort of like,
I think so. If it's yeah,
this was
just watch. It's worth it.
Oh wait, I have seen this.
this was when you kind of knew the empire was about to fall.
Do we get sound or no? Because the sound is crucial. So she just gets up. She, that's a voiceover. So she goes into the room. The woman says, go back a little bit. I really want you to see how she sits down and how she reacts with this woman. She goes in, looks, and then just gets up and goes. There's something about that always
There's
felt
something
wrong.
about this whole thing though that just makes me sad.
Oh, it doesn't
Because
make
it's
me
like
feel
with
sad.
a fortune teller and just like everything that's happened to her. I'm like, oh, you didn't want to, maybe you wanted to know what was going to happen so you could prevent it.
We sort of ignore.
We don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we
actually.
don't.
I think that she's in a great place, and I'm not
Oh
choosing.
yeah, that is true.
So I can't take that on. Whatever
Yeah.
you're trying to do right
You're
now.
right, you're right, you're right,
I
you're right,
can't
you're
take
right.
that on.
You're right,
I
you're
don't know
right.
if-
She's in a great place. She's
That's
doing
your
so
thing.
well.
Yeah. So anyway, I love The Wizard of Oz. Again, I know I said it in the beginning, but I am gay. So I love The Wizard of Oz, but in particular. So I actually just keep like clips in here. This is just for my glam room. This is like a music box, Wizard of Oz. But here's what I love.
So cute.
Here's what I love, Wizard of Oz, is the 50th anniversary 1989 collection. So in 1989, it was the 50th anniversary, and everything was Wizard of Oz. It was like the way that Star Wars and Harry Potter is now. I mean, do you remember this growing up? There was so much Wizard of Oz content, products, things. There was Wizard of Oz everything, toilet paper holders.
But why? Why so long after the...
But that's what's cool is that had such a lasting legacy. Like as a little boy, I was obsessed with a 50-year-old movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
they
the
really
best movie
pushed
ever.
it. So I like the 1989,
89.
early 90s. Like they had everything you can imagine.
Now, from what I've heard, you have a Wizard of Oz collection that travels to different schools.
I guess when you put it that way, it does seem like it's been a problem for a while. So I had a Wizard of Oz collection that kept growing and growing. And by the time I was like in 6th grade, it did travel libraries. So the collection got its own agent that would then send it to different libraries.
You know what I thought when you first said that? I thought that you, to this day, you do a show and tell of Wizard of Oz
He
stuff.
should.
Oh.
on
Why are you, wait,
Element.
why is that not a TikTok subset of your...
You know what? We're getting there. I'm in
Okay.
this for the long game. So I think we're getting there. And also, the Wizard of Oz fan collector community is, and I say this with peace and love, some of the most vile, disgusting people you'll ever see on the internet. I lurk in a lot of the Facebook groups, and when I tell you, it is just some of the worst of humanity.
What are they? Are they fighting?
They're
Like, what are they-
fighting. They're cruel. I would say there's a big, unique cross selection of just awful gay people and then like January 6th people that love the Wizard of Oz, right? So they meet in the middle, and it'll be a little girl posting, I'm playing Dorothy in my 6th, somehow she wandered onto this group. She'll say, I'm playing Dorothy in my school play. Look at my costume. And the comments will be like, you idiot, that's not screen accurate. Like, you fool. Like, ugh, she wore blue socks, moron. Like, ugh, enough with the white socks. Like, people are so cruel. Someone will be like, oh, I got this at a garage sale. I think it's from the 70s. And they'll be like, fuck off. That's from the 80s, you idiot. Like, they're so mean. And I obviously have never like commented, but I can't get enough of it.
I feel like that's sort of universal across all fandoms, right?
Right.
Like there really is like a like irrational, like aggressive kind of you're doing it wrong. Like how dare you stray from, or how dare you not know this one piece of information? That makes me laugh so hard. Poor any child that stumbles upon that page.
I
like
love it. And I also love because it's like, this is a fandom that, again, like I said, is like weird and also like hardcore Republican Karen moms. And it's like for them to be able to I have that doll. For them to be able to coexist in this way, I think is like pretty special. Is that my room? So yeah, so that's sort of that's another obsession.
Thank you for bringing that today. I do really think that you should.
Okay, very cool.
Yes, just a gift, a small gift.
I think you should display these toys, because they are toys, on your TikToks. Would you not?
I obviously am coming out of the closet here on this podcast, admitting how
many toys you have,
how off I am just as a person. So maybe the time is now to do that.
And you said something earlier that I want to go back to, which is that you've set alarms in the middle of the night
for eBay.
Okay, why is that?
Because sometimes the auction will end at a certain time.
How competitive is it for, let's say, the car hair dryer?
The car hair dryer, nobody wanted. So that one was easy to get. But
what's the most competitive?
For some reason, this Farrah thing was really competitive. And also, like, not to not to sound like arrogant or something, but since I've started doing a lot of these old hair things on eBay, and some of them have gotten traction or whatever, the prices have all gone up like crazy, and a lot of people are buying them, like trying to like
for
do
sure.
their own
It's
thing.
such a good idea that you came up with to start doing that.
And
like
it was hard to find a full one because a lot of them are just like empty. Yeah, that one. See, that's like $40. Like that's pretty reasonable. $24. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable.
I'm very curious about your upbringing, just because I do feel like we're very similar. We get along so well, but you literally grew up in LA.
Right.
Like kind of a showbiz family. And I don't know, like, is that why you're so much cooler and more advanced than like the rest of us?
I don't think that I'm either of those things. I think that I'm obviously stuck in the past, and I think that I'm lagging. No, growing up in LA was great. I loved. I mean, it's all I ever knew. And anytime I meet someone, they're like, "You're a unicorn." I never meet people from LA. I'm like, I only interact with people from LA. Like we just sort of keep to ourselves.
Yeah. I really wish I was one of you guys.
Esther, you're so in the club. You've been here long enough.
Thanks.
Yeah, Esther.
Do you count Khalyla as growing up in LA? When did you move here?
14, between 14 and 15. But this is the first place the first city in America that I landed coming from Asia.
She's an LA girl.
So I'm for sure. I also, the way that I got to learn LA was not through anything like fancy. Like I can get anywhere. I will never get lost in LA. Like I don't need GPS anywhere.
Wow.
And that's because like I had a fucking bus pass, and I would just I learned it really fast. I learned everywhere I needed to be really, really fast. So I feel very much like an Angelino at heart.
Well, I used
Like
the bus
hardcore.
and the subway, which, by the way, there is a subway system.
We
when
do
I
have
was
a
like,
subway.
when I was like
Yes.
13, 14, that's what we would do. Your parents would be like, "I'm dropping you off here," and then you would literally get on the bus, get on the subway, like go downtown, like beg people to give you cigarettes, like on Skid Row. Like it was fun.
And you'd have to know your routes ahead of time, and you'd have to know like your transfers, because we didn't have like
Phones.
Yeah, you don't have phones,
Yeah.
Well,
right?
I did that in Chicago. Like we took the bus and the train, but I can't imagine that here.
No, here it's different because our subway system here really is janky.
And it also will break down all the time. So you would say like, "Oh, I'm going to the movies," and your parent would be like, "Okay, I'm coming to pick you up. The movie's over," and you'd be like stuck on the subway with all the lights out. Like it was very thrilling.
Would you do that today? Would you ever go on the subway? Like, is it?
I've taken the subway to like a concert before, like at Staples Center.
Yeah, I feel like that's a smart way to do it.
Wait, are
especially
you
with, like,
serious? I
traffic. Yeah.
picture it as like this very scary, dangerous thing.
No, it's not.
So, I mean, especially if you're going with a concert, it's all like fans of
Yeah.
whoever's playing that night, and then 3 to 4 mentally ill people screaming.
Okay.
But like you outnumber them. And also, it's just a situation of like the parking, because sometimes just getting out of the parking lot or getting to your Uber can take an hour. When I saw Beyonce, it took me an hour just to get to my car.
Yeah, and all the quote unquote like the crazies that you come across like on like the bus or the train or whatever, like they become so familiar to you because you see them all the time, and like they it no longer feels like foreign or like scary. You're like, oh, that's Sideways. Oh, that's Boom Boom. Like
Yeah.
you know, you get to know
It's
them.
like being in New York. Like, I mean, I took the subway 2 days ago in New York. Like, it's just
I take the subway in New York. I'm cool.
okay.
yeah,
all
and,
right.
yeah.
I'm
That I
cool.
feel like is the easiest city. I mean, San Francisco too. It's
And now
like
they have
super easy.
Apple Pay. That's what
Yeah,
the real,
I know
that's
that
the
has
game
changed
changer
the
because
game.
because the card and all that was
The
actually
machine,
that's
scary,
too much, too scary.
scary.
I'll stay home. But yeah, now they have the Apple Pay on the subway. That's such a game
Yeah.
changer.
Yeah, I'm really appreciative of that. You went to Madonna this year?
I went to Madonna.
I feel like
this
everyone
year.
did, but me. How did I
had
miss
such
that?
good seats too.
You did.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
But it was, I went in. Now Madonna is queen, and I feel like Madonna is. I feel like maybe that's my next job is to really teach Gen Z and the younger generation that, like, yeah, whoever your favorite is or your number one is, they wouldn't exist without Madonna.
Are they not appreciating Madonna?
I don't see enough Madonna appreciation from the younger kids at all.
I agree.
That
and
is so weird because I feel like we revered even the pop stars, like the Chers before our
but
time.
they still like Cher. That's what's crazy. They
Mm.
still fuck with Cher because some of those references and
I
those looks are
know.
just undeniable. And Believe is a song that is, I think Believe is bigger with the younger generation than any Madonna song, which is
That's
hard to say.
It's hard to believe.
It's
Actually,
hard to believe.
I love Cher, but I think Madonna is my number one.
Madonna is incredible, and so my expectations for the show weren't. I went in with like no expectations
Mhm.
basically, and I was blown away. I had what did you think? You went too?
It was. I mean, I hate even saying this out loud, but I was like days from giving birth, so I only stayed the first half because I was just really uncomfortable.
Did you get to like the Vogue?
I did.
Okay.
And what I saw, I mean, it was the best thing I've ever seen. I felt like I'd been waiting my whole life to see these songs being performed.
Because it was
could
all
not.
early Madonna. I mean,
It's
she was doing Burning
amazing.
Up. She was doing like debut album
I'm
stuff.
literally getting the chills. Like I just, as a little girl, I never thought I would get to see her play Burning Up. Like
I
that's
know
crazy.
with the guitar.
The fact that we got that, like,
I know.
oh, it's so amazing. So it does hurt me that I didn't see the whole thing, but
No, but you were there, and this might be our last chance to ever see. Do you think your viewers are gonna like tune out and be like, "This is the gayest episode I've ever seen in my entire"? Like,
Not
do you
at
think
all.
people are gonna take their lives?
No, but this really genuinely makes me sad that there is a lack of appreciation for Madonna with Gen
I think
Z.
the tour helped.
the tour
And I
helped.
think that when they inevitably make a movie, as they do with everything,
Yeah.
then people will.
What's going on with that movie?
I don't know. I can't say, but I think that people will listen. The cream rises to the top, and I think even, I think people are going to look back at the past decade of Madonna's career in the rearview mirror and be like, "Wow, we were so ageist."
Oh, for
Mhm.
sure.
I think people are gonna, and all of a sudden, the people that are like judging how she looks or saying whatever are gonna like have revisionist history and be like, I always loved her.
Right.
Like I loved that she like dressed however she wanted at that age. There's gonna be such revisionist history with
No,
her.
the most amazing thing she's ever said was she was like, the most feminist thing I've ever done is just stick around.
Yep.
And I feel like that's so real. Who are your like top ultimate, like if you had to list your like top 5 or even more, like not just pop stars, but like your gay kid icons, like
As a kid,
but that you're still feeling for them now, but it's from childhood.
I mean, from childhood, like
Can I guess?
You can.
I'm gonna guess like Rosie O'Donnell is in there.
Love Rosie O'Donnell with all my heart.
Kathy Griffin.
I mean, as like a little boy, I was like, why am I watching this horrible workplace comedy called Suddenly Susan?
I loved Suddenly Susan.
Okay, it's not good though.
It wasn't, but I know what
But
you
it
mean. When you,
hit.
yes, it hit
It
as a
hit
kid.
something.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I watching like this is not, why would an 8-year-old want to watch this like sitcom about fax
It
machines?
made it to the Philippines, but it made it to the
did?
Philippines.
Oh,
Yes.
good for Kathy. I love that. To hear that
Mhm.
suddenly, and I think that's really what the ultimate lesson of today is that Suddenly Susan, it made it to the Philippines.
It did. And they were very selective. You know, it's
I'm
like there's
sure.
a few things that didn't quite make it there, and a lot of probably great American shows that never quite made it across the pond, but Suddenly Susan
Suddenly
made
Susan.
it.
There we
Wow.
go.
I think I know why, because everyone was obsessed with Brooke Shields in
Right.
the Philippines. So
What also was great about Suddenly Susan, and this doesn't happen now on TV shows because now shows just get like canceled, right?
Yeah.
But back in the day, they would do something called retooling, where it was like suddenly it would be one season, and then the next season half the cast would be gone. She'd be like in a different city. So every season they really were like, okay, it didn't quite work. Now we're going to have her like in the inner city. Okay, that didn't quite work. Now we're going to add Sherry Shepherd. Okay, that didn't quite work. Now we're going to make it like a romance. And it never was consistent. And I loved that.
But they gave it so many chances, right?
And that's what's so beautiful is they gave Suddenly Susan chance after chance. And if we could just do that with ourselves and give ourselves the grace that NBC gave to Suddenly Susan in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And retool, because that's ultimately reinventing yourself. Just retool.
It's just a retooling.
Maybe add Sherry Shepherd in the mix, you know? What we're talking about, Kathy Griffin, she's up there. My dream is to work with Catherine O'Hara.
I mean, that's everyone's dream.
That's everyone's dream.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's dream now. I mean, with Schitt's Creek, like she's sort of, but like I've been writing.
But just
for
forever.
her. I know.
But you
What an
get most
icon.
of your dream clients.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I work with like incredible girls. I work with a lot of like young girls and pop stars, and it's super fun. I have the best job ever. I'm so lucky. It affords me to buy junk, so I, will never be a homeowner.
But Catherine O'Hara, like, what a choice. Like, I feel like you couldn't give a better answer.
Ugh, goated.
Wait, sorry. I was just...
What's with the bananas?
The
Are we doing a
bananas-
game?
No,
Okay.
we
It feels like a curse.
I love bananas.
Okay.
And bananas was always a way for me to re-up on my potassium when I wasn't, when emotions ran high. And I thought when you pulled out the Wizard of Oz.
I needed it.
Yeah,
She
you
said,
needed it.
You need a banana.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's an insult.
Right.
Got it. Oh, and there's a banana there. Okay, so that's part of.
It's part of
it's not just like because you're gay that we're trying to
Oh,
make
right.
It's not that.
Okay, got it. Okay, I thought it was like, sit on
It wasn't
or something.
targeted.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Can I ask a question as just a person who knows nothing about anything in terms of hairstyles? Do you give us like a brief, like what's in or like what 2024? I don't know. Just
I
bring
mean, everyone's very into like the coquettish, very like brushed out, hyper feminine looks, right? So like beachy waves, all of that is kind of out. You want like super voluminous, just fluffy. I mean, for so long, people were like, I don't want fluffy hair.
Esther, you and I are like fluffy.
People didn't want fluffy
Oops.
hair. Fluffy hair is back. But I'll tell you where things are heading. Is we're going into an early 2010s revival any minute now.
That's
And
what I
does
figured
that
was
mean?
next.
So what that means is we're going to be seeing a lot of ombres. The ombre is coming back. And, the ombre started as, it was a consequence of like the Great Recession. So all these young blonde girls couldn't afford to get their hair done, but they looked cool as the roots kept growing out. And then everybody just sort of copied that.
This is so funny to me because like the girls that hung on to the ombre to this day are considered chuggy, right? Because it was the 2010s.
Right.
But we've gone full circle.
We've gone full
Enough
circle.
time has passed where the ombre is back is so interesting to me.
And I think what's going to happen now is that sort of like, because of like all the TikTok trends and people like my skincare, my hair care, like everyone's so like hyper vigilant and focused and like, I got to get my money pieces done and my balayage and everything perfect. It's like, we're going to have sort of like the other direction where everything is more lived in, more grungy, less effort.
I like this. This I like.
Yeah.
It's that sort of indie sleaze Tumblr era. I think we're going to see again, like, I think we're going to see like the Tumblr, like pastel colors, but not like you went to the salon and got like fantasy colors put in, like, really like bleached out pinks and like sea foams. And maybe this is
we
a
have
young
a
man's
bleached out
game.
pink girl here.
Yeah, we
Where's
do.
Ariel?
Yeah, she's ahead of the game.
And both of them. Do you see the
Everyone
Ariel?
is.
Show yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
super
gorge.
cute.
Yeah.
So yeah, she knows what's up.
Yeah.
So it's sort of that like 2010s indie sleaze, Tumblr era, American Apparel.
Because
as
we've
it
burned
were.
out with the 90s, early 2000s. So I think we're at the
The
maximum.
Y2K. And listen, I was a big champion of the Y2K aesthetic. I feel like I did a lot with a lot of my clients.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
I brought a lot of
Thank
like
you for your
space buns
service.
back. Not to say that I did it, but
you
like
did.
no, but like especially stuff I did with Olivia Rodrigo and stuff. We did a
Right,
lot
right.
of very like Y2K hairstyles. And now I just think we're gonna keep the train going. And as long as we're not moving forward and we're just looking back, then I will feel comfortable. So
What would you do? What would you do? What would I do?
well, what do I always say about your hair? Thing about Esther's hair. Let me put the banana down. And I need to touch hair for a second. The thing about Esther's hair is Esther's hair, because of like the sort of, I don't want to say like whatever ogre oils that she produces, creates the softest, most shiny, beautiful
She has
hair.
beautiful
that
hair.
If I were to put product in her hair from like sopping wet and give her a blowout and do all that, it wouldn't look as good as if she just lets it air dry.
I've had to tell like hair people, I'll be like, so my best friend is a hairstylist and he says that it's better if you just don't do anything.
Yeah, definitely not blow dry. Let it air dry. And then if, when you're on a show, they can like, you do a little iron work, curl a few pieces, straighten a few pieces, one or the other. But, but her hair just looks naturally so beautiful, which is, not fun for me. I want to get in there and root around.
Wait, but okay, in terms of color, like, what would you allow?
Have you ever colored your hair, Esther?
Yeah, you had highlights.
Yeah, I had highlights for doll face.
What about when you had the
haircut?
The bob?
Oh, that's right, the bob.
So she had a haircut that really can only be described as late in life Michael Jackson. Every time I saw her, I just kept expecting her to wear that red button-down shirt and dangle that baby from a balcony in Germany. That was the vibe it was giving. And as it grew out, it got better.
Oh yeah, you gave me the space buns for my special.
Oh, we did a lot of Y2. You know what? You might have been the pioneer when we did your special.
Yeah.
And again, that was a situation where she was like, oh, I don't think I need to get my hair done. And I was like, no, like we need to make your hair iconic. And this was
That's so cute.
We did that in 2019. Yeah, we actually were ahead of the curve on that, dude.
I agree. That was all you, obviously, as I did not want glam at all.
You didn't want glam. I actually think I insisted on doing that job, remember?
Yes, you did. You were like, I want to do your special. I was like, it's beneath you.
No, I anytime I get to work with Esther is literally like a joy. And normally
So nice.
I'm forcing it.
I do think this is genius because when I think of, I'm very visual. When I think of her special, I think of her this haircut, this hairstyle.
Totally.
And the look, yeah.
Yeah, that's a much better, not backlit picture. I love that. But that's sort of like the vibe was, she's also like, she is this like, millennial icon. So let's bring back that sort of like our childhood and bring that sort of to the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So since I've met you, I've told you that I wanted to do this one specific thing with my hair, and you've always told me not to.
Oh, is it dye the underneath red, like, and I quote Ozzy Osbourne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, explain this to me, Esther. How do you want it?
During the Osbournes, Ozzy had this amazing hair. He has that long black hair.
Yes.
And then he has just the underneath at the back red. And I think it looks so cool.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's actually do it. I think the time is now. That is so you. That is so you. 100%. Let's do it. I feel like if you ever get married, that should also be like the vibe, like those glasses, like all black.
Dave would be so mad.
Wait, see, you know how on TikTok there's that whole drama between Brooke, Tana's co-host, with the bob. Have you seen it?
No, I'm on a different side of TikTok.
So basically, it's this whole discussion of who should and shouldn't get a bob. Can you clarify?
I mean, bobs look good. If you're going to like take care of your bob, but the bob has to be specific. It can't be shoulder skimming. If it's just hitting your shoulders here and like flipping out, that's a no bueno. That's when we get into like dangling the baby territory. But a sharp bob, if you have a sharp, clean bob, that's sick.
And for any face shape, neck length?
I don't believe in the whole face shape thing because I think it's inherently racist. Because I think that it's trying to make everything look like a Eurocentric oval face.
Oh my God, because
and round faces are beautiful. Square faces are beautiful. To have to make everyone's face be this like Euro oval.
Yes. Okay.
Stupid.
So that's a whole thing, right? It's like, oh, how do we frame the face? And my whole life, it's like, well, you have, Filipino, Asian, we have big faces.
Yeah.
And
beautiful.
It's like, how are we, and again, we've always kind of like revered the Western idea of a smaller kind of tapered, this part of the face.
Yep.
And it's like, you know what? Like, you're absolutely right. Like, whatever face shape goes.
No, I'm fighting against like all those things. Like I'm obviously like a very offensive person. I probably said about 40 things today to Esther that are questionable. But like, no, ultimately, like one thing that I really try to push forward with everything with like hairstyling, and I'm working on people that are like some of the most photographed people in the world, is really trying to not make the centric standard of beauty be like the ultimate.
Mm.
That's something that's really, really, really important to me. Even the fact that I don't have a nose job is
Progressive.
a progressive thing.
It's a political statement.
It is it honestly is. Like, I could have had a nose job when I was younger. People in my family have all had nose jobs, and I was like, I'm not doing that.
That makes me so happy, because when I talk to people who said they considered getting a nose job in high school, I'm like, I'm just so glad that you didn't. Like, I'm so glad you didn't.
And also, guys like the nose.
No, I think like men with more like romantic noses are the hottest.
yeah.
Like I always notice the nose first.
Yeah, I mean, plastic surgery on guys is pretty. It's a fine line.
But I feel like it's swinging the other way now, even for girls, right? Because before it was like, oh, girls with like bigger noses. Like even including myself, I've told you, it's like people are like, oh, you have a hump. You have a
No,
romantic
that's what makes
nose.
you beautiful. Your
But I'm
nose
like-
is so beautiful.
I've always liked my nose up until I started doing podcasts or people started pointing it out. And I'm like, wait a second, but I like that I haven't and will not.
yeah.
Unless
No.
there's some need for it because I have a collapsed nasal valve. But
Well,
like-
that sounds bad.
it is. Like I can't breathe out of this nose, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to do anything that might change.
No, if you
that.
had like a little Whoville nose, it would look so off on you. And also, like, obviously, there are exceptions to like, every rule, but like for the most part, you take one thing away from what like the universe gave you, and it's like then everything else looks off balance, and then you're like, oh fuck, I need to like move my eyes
Right.
back because my nose doesn't match, and it's this like game that you can't keep up with. Like, you kind of have the face you were given for a reason. Some people are obviously like
Right.
disfigured or something and they need help. Like, I'm not talking about them, and I love those people, but you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I think it's kind of like a losing game to like try to, you take one thing away and the rest doesn't work.
I agree. I hope that the culture shifts more towards that, because I don't like that everyone starts to look the same. I feel like everyone is
I
different
hate
is
how everyone
beautiful.
looks the same now. Even with hair, it's like, I feel like, and that's what I love, like doing these old, because I also do a series on TikTok where I have this 1965 hairstyling booklet, right? And I'm doing every single hairstyle in the book on myself,
Oh, I
in wigs.
love that.
And there were so many different looks back then, like hundreds of looks that you would see on the street. And now it's like, you see the same 8 hairstyles. You see the same 10 hairstyles.
You're right. It's getting a little boring. I mean, not to say that I've ever had anything but boring hair,
same.
but like still, I know what you mean. Everyone is looking like a carbon copy of the next.
So if someone does want to have the Michael Jackson shoulder skimming, like, go off. If somebody wants to have like a pixie, like, go the fuck off. I don't care. Like, just sort of do your thing.
Okay, that on that note, is my hair so long that it's embarrassing?
No, I love long hair.
Really?
Love.
Okay.
Love long hair. It's witchy. It's like, I
Mhm.
love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can keep it. Okay. Well, I guess we're out of time. I feel a
Clayton-
lot of things.
Yeah. I came here to make you feel stuff. When I got handed the banana, that was like a tough moment, but I feel like we've moved past that, and I'm happy to be where we are. Should we cheers with the banana?
Yeah. Thank you for bringing
Thank you
all
so
of this
much
fun
for-
stuff.
I know.
for
Again, I
being
am taking
here.
it back.
Wait, Clay.
Honestly, if there was one thing I would steal, it would be the Farrah Fawcett. I think that's my favorite
Isn't that
out of your
sick?
pack. Yeah.
for me, it would be the Mars Attacks Martian Girl doll or Spice Girls.
Oh, well, the next time I come, I'll bear gifts that you guys can
No,
keep.
no, please don't. Please don't.
No, I'm going to
Dave-
bear gifts that you guys
Wait,
can
we
keep.
Dave
never.
does not want-
One more thing. Like, did you have trouble receiving the gifts and why? For
I
baby?
brought the baby beautiful, what I thought the baby would want, which is, again, like a Britney Spears doll, a Tickle Me Elmo. What else did I bring the baby?
the Dream doll.
Oh, the band Dream. I don't think they made it past
He loves
the
you not.
States. And Dave was just like, oh no, oh, why'd you bring so much stuff? Oh God, like really like putting his hand in his face. He didn't like receiving those things.
Clay just went all out, which is sort of what he does. It's just sort of his thing.
Yeah, I go hard.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
No, it
but then
was.
she gets to have all of that.
Yeah. No,
and-
it'll
But
be
you know,
great.
that's what an infant needs.
Yeah.
You know?
Clay, where can people find you? You're on TikTok.
I'm on so TikTok it's Clayton Hawkins, ITS Clayton Hawkins, and then Instagram just Clayton Hawkins. Clayton, not just, but Clayton Hawkins.
We love you. Thank you for coming here. I hope you'll come back.
I'll definitely come back.
Please come
You
back.
All
guys,
right.
thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week with a brand new episode. Oh my God.